This girl says that she has been living with her boyfriend for 3 years. And her boyfriend's the type of person that cannot fall asleep like when it's silent. So normally they put like rain noises or like podcasts, but nothing scary because he does not like anything paranormal or scary. She says that when she first lived with him, it was the most annoying thing ever because she couldn't fall asleep when there's like noise going on, but she eventually got used to it and now it's not a big deal for her. 2 weeks ago, she got woken up in the middle of the night because she heard a weird noise. She looked around the room because she heard a woman's voice, and that's when she realized that it was her Alexa. When she first heard the noise, she thought it was like the white noise or like the podcast that her boyfriend usually puts to fall asleep, but it wasn't. It was Alexa, and she started laughing. She said that had never happened before, so she thought it was weird. She was still half asleep, so she thought that she was dreaming, and she just laid back down and went to bed. 2 days later, she said that she had forgotten about it, but when she remembered, she mentioned it to her boyfriend. She didn't bring it up to like scare him, but she brought it up because she was like, that had never happened before, that's weird, right? But instead, his reaction was like super defensive. He was like, why would you say that? Alexa would never do something like that. Like, don't try to scare me, that's messed up. And she was like, what the hell? Because she wasn't trying to scare him, she was just like bringing it up because it was weird. But the way he answered was very like defensive and stern, and he was like, don't talk about that, what do you mean? Since she noticed that he was like defensive, she was like, you know what, maybe it was a dream, maybe I dreamed it because I was half asleep, so she just let it go. So she says like a few days passed and they had friends over for dinner, and in that moment she decided to bring it up to her friends. She was like, I woke up and I thought I heard her laughing and like whispering, and you know, I told my boyfriend and he didn't believe me, and in that moment they all started laughing and giggling, and that's when the boyfriend didn't laugh with them. He was like serious. He didn't think it was a joke, it wasn't funny. She said that he was still serious, turned to look at her and said, you know what, I didn't want to tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you because honestly, I don't even believe it myself. He said, I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to scare you or scare myself even more. That night that you heard those noises in the bedroom, I also woke up when I heard it, and when I turned, you were sitting up on the bed. What I saw was you whispering back and forth with Alexa and then laughing. And I think you realized that I was awake because you stopped. And when you looked at me, your eyes were red. But not just red, it looked like you had blood all in your eyes. He said that he went back to bed and wanted to tell himself that it was a dream. It didn't happen. It was a nightmare. But then 2 days later, you brought it up to me what happened to you, and you freaked me out. He said that he shut down in that moment because the details that she was giving was the exact same thing that he saw, except for she was the one whispering back and forth with Alexa and laughing, and he didn't want to admit that it happened. He didn't want to admit that he'd seen it, because if he had to admit that, he would have to admit that that actually happened. She had blood in her eyes and he was terrified. She said in that moment, her and her friends all stopped laughing, got quiet, and didn't even know what to say. She had never experienced anything paranormal. She had never gone through anything like this. She does not know what to think about it because she's a very logical person. She's the type of person where like if something happens, she's not gonna immediately think it's paranormal. She's gonna find the logical way of like why something happened. But with this, she has no idea. Personally, I would have broken up with you because what? Or I mean, I don't know, maybe she was like sleep talking and maybe she said Alexa in her sleep talk. Who fucking knows? Who knows? But also, can we all agree that like sleep talkers are fucking scary? I remember one time I had a boyfriend and his brother used to sleep talk a lot. Why the fuck did he wake us up, point at the ceiling and say, who's that? Who's who? Anyways, I'm glad I don't have an Alexa. Hey Alexa. Oh my god, did it wake yours up? Guys, this is a story from Relatos de la Noche. I'm going to put the video here in the timestamp. If you want to go listen to it in Spanish, please do so. I translated it for you guys. But what do you think? I would rather be the girlfriend in this situation and not the dude because that would have scarred me for life.